What's going on, everyone? Really pumped to tell you one of my strongest and most powerful tactics in persuasion that allows you to use integrity to increase the trust in your prospects by owning all of your deficiencies with a single statement. All right? So many times if you're thinking about how you're selling someone, the degree to which they will buy is directly correlated with how much they trust you. Especially in a B2B scenario where if I said, hey, for every dollar you give me, you'll make 10 back. If someone truly believed that, then every single person would buy from me, right? Because there's no logical reason not to. So underpinning that is whether they believe me or not. And that could be within the context whether they believe in themselves versus the system versus the world. There's other sub-beliefs there. But fundamentally, if those three things are aligned and they truly believe in their core, then they're going to buy. Which is the same reason that when you have a referral that gets on the phone with you, it's so easy to close them because the person who referred them has already imbued you with trust. They've already vouched for you. And so the person comes in with sky high trust and really you just need to get out of their way so they can make the purchase. And so I learned this tactic from Eminem in 8 Mile. You can see it at work, and I'll give you a couple of prominent examples. But it's using the word but, all right? And this is the concept of a damaging admission, which is probably my single favorite technique to use in persuasion because it allows me to be even more honest than I otherwise would be. And in a world of like charlatans where people are always making huge promises and making huge claims and never kind of being real and authentic with people, you stick out like a sore thumb in a good way, right? And so let me give you a statement really quickly. And then I'm gonna show you how to reverse it in order to make it more persuasive. So let's say I said, I'm going to make you, you're going to make a ton of money if you work with me, but it's going to be a ton of work. There's going to be hundreds of hours of videos you're going to have to go through. There's 5 hours a day that you're going to have to spend, to execute each of the things that I'm going to tell you to do, right? What happens is in that statement, I directed your attention to all of the things that you're going to have to do, right? Now, if you noticed, it was positive statement, but negative statement. Now, if you reverse these things and go negative statement, but positive statement, the but acts as an amplifier for the second half. Let's try it on. Listen, if you sign up for Gym Launch or you sign up to work with me, you're gonna have to go through hundreds of hours of videos. You're gonna have to take 5 hours a day, to work and do these things, but you're gonna make more money than you've ever made in your life. The thing is that but, and then the statement, when I say something negative, if I was on a date, for example, and I was trying to persuade a young lady, back in the day before I was married, I might say something like, listen, sometimes I have a temper. I can be short at times. I don't have a ton of time to dedicate to a relationship right now because my business is taking up the majority of my time, but I'm absolutely fantastic in bed. Right? If I said something like that, the thing is the more negatives I can say in the beginning, the more believable the thing that I say right afterwards is. Right? And so if I own all of my negatives, which is why I love this, because be truthful in the things that you're saying that are negative. And the more true they are, and the more damaging they are, the more believable the thing that comes after the sentence. All right? And so the way to use but, because everything that happens here after the word but is amplified, all right? And everything that is before the word but is diminished. So the good thing is you can actually control where your prospect's attention is going. So this is where we're directing them, is after the word but. And so I do this sometimes, the word because is actually really similar too, to this in a different way. I'll use it in another video. But if I say something really horrible, I'm trying to think of something else. Let's see here. I'm really hard to live with. I absolutely do no house chores whatsoever. But whatever I say right now is something that you're going to believe, right? And so when you use this to your advantage, and you weave this into your copy, especially as you get closer to your call to actions, people will believe you. And fundamentally, this is what will make your copy so much more persuasive, right? Like, for example, Gym Launch has tons of 1-star reviews. We also have thousands of 5 stars, right? And so the question is whether you want to eat at a restaurant that has 4.7 stars with 3,000 ratings, or you would eat at a place that has 5 stars with 19, right? I would rather eat the 4.7 star. Same thing what you buy on Amazon, right? Because the damaging admissions, the reviews that are negative, give credence to the things that are positive. So let me give you a really famous example that Viagra had, and some of you guys may know this commercial, but it's literally, it crushed for them, right? Some of you guys may remember that they had a warning label at the end of their advertisements that said, if an erection lasts longer than 4 hours, must contact a medical, professional, right? And so the beauty is there was a genuine risk, right? But in making the risk, they amplified the power of the product. Every single guy heard that warning and was like, I could have an erection for 4 hours. Like, sign me up, right? And so it'd be like the same thing as saying like, warning, when you sign up and start working with Gym Launch, you're going to massively increase your tax burden. All right, so like we are not liable for the amount of taxes that you're going to have to pay as a result of the amount of money we're going to make, right? So it's the negative consequence of the positive that amplifies the believability of the statement. If we're warning people that the extreme adverse effects of the result that we're promising in an extreme fashion, then it makes the underlying believability of whether or not they're going to achieve it seem assumed, right? And then it makes the entire set of sentences or the preceding argument more persuasive, right, and believable. And so ultimately, this is one of my favorite persuasion tactics, and I love it because it's so based in integrity, right? You're just saying all of the things that someone is going to find out eventually.
Have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror and thought, wow, I should be further ahead by now? If you're trying to make money online or start your first business and feel overwhelmed, you're not alone. Every day you see other people succeeding and you wonder, why am I not succeeding? Maybe you don't like your job or you're unfulfilled. You want to do something you love and make money, but you feel stuck, bored, confused, or maybe all three. I get it. I spent years in the exact same spot, afraid to fail, but ashamed of being afraid. And it wasn't until I paid another business owner to teach me how to run a local business that I felt comfortable starting my own. He showed me the ropes and gave me the confidence to start. And after scaling my local gym chain from learning this stuff from him, I started a company called Gym Launch, which I sold years later for $46.2 million. Now, what I want to do is repay the favor. I want to show you the ropes the exact way that business owner did for me. And as the person with the largest community on Skool, which I'll tell you about in a second, I can show you exactly what to do. You can start your own online community business today with all the things I didn't know when I started my first business for free with the Skool games. So imagine building a business being as easy as playing a video game with step-by-step instructions, live workshops, real-time leaderboards, and new friends to make it fun. If all that were true, would you at least be interested? Okay. Now, you might be wondering, well, what exactly is Skool? How do the Skool games work? How much does it cost? Do I need to be an expert? Do I need an audience? What are the prizes? Great questions. Let me break it down for you. Skool Games is a fun, easy way to build your online business. No experience or followers needed. Just simply choose a painful experience you overcame, something you find interested or you're passionate about, or some skill you learned throughout your career, no matter how small. It could be as simple as a better way to organize folders, or meal prepping for kids who have food allergies, or travel hacks. And then all you have to do is just invite people to community about overcoming that pain, following that passion, or learning that skill. And we'll show you exactly how to build it and monetize it on your first try. Now, if that sounds insanely simple, that's because it is. So check it out. More than 1 out of 2 people who start a paid community in Skool make money. That means by your next reunion, instead of answering, what are you up to these days? You could be answering, how'd you do that? And could you help me? And the thing is you probably could, because it's not that hard. Right now, people are paying hundreds, sometimes thousands to get into digital communities the same way they do nightclubs or cafes. Just think about it as a place where lots of people who want to talk about the same stuff can gather together, and people pay to get in. And the crazy thing is people are selling courses and coaching programs for thousands and tens of thousands on how to build a business like this because it's so profitable. But what if there were a faster, easier, zero-risk way to learn how to do this for yourself? What if you could learn how to start, scale, and monetize an online group the right way on your first try for free? Would you at least consider it? All right. So for those of you who want more out of life, an online community takes the least amount of time to get started. You can literally make money in hours. It requires the least skill. If you can invite people to a party, you can make this business work. And you don't need to be an expert. You just invite those people and let them do the heavy lifting for you. It's kind of like Wikipedia. Wikipedia is not the expert at anything. They just bring the people together and then they are the online de facto experts. It's even faster than building a course or starting a coaching program because you don't need to have all the answers for that exact reason. Interested yet? Good. Because School Games was designed to smash through every obstacle that once stood in the way of starting an online business. It's why we have such an insanely high success rate. We've obsessed for years about removing everything that stops people from succeeding. And that's why with the School Games, you can succeed without an audience or expertise. Because let's face it, most people don't. And so we had to figure out a way to help people win. And of the 5 out of 7 communities I talked about earlier who won the School Games in their first month, only 2 of them had organic followings before they started. You don't need any fancy software, calendars, payment processing. Everything you need is already built into Skool. And you don't even have to know what your community is going to be about yet. I'll show you how to pick it. It's simple, and you can do it in less than 20 minutes. And if you're wondering, well, how do I get people invited to my community? Don't worry, you don't have to ask people you know. We've made it simple to crowdsource your community, just like Evelyn did through Skool itself on the millions of users we already have on the platform. As for tech skills, you don't need any. If you have the technology to watch this video right now, you already have all the tech you need to start, scale, and succeed. So what happens if you sign up right now? Well, you'll follow our process, you'll build a paid community about whatever it is you love, and if you become one of the top 10 communities on the leaderboard, you'll join me and other successful community owners here in Vegas. And even if you don't win the first month, you get to keep competing every month until you win. And then you can join all the alumni and all the past winners to get to the next level. Worst case scenario, you join, you do nothing, you decide to quit and walk away with thousands of dollars worth of knowledge that you can take with you on whatever business venture you want next. Best case scenario, you take a zero risk move and change your life forever. Or maybe you're just like Kyle, who's never won the games, never got in the top 10, and just built a community that makes him $4,664 a month in recurring revenue. He didn't win any awards, but would 3, 4, 5 grand a month change things for you? If so, then you're in the right place. Remember, the only guarantee is that if you don't take the shot, you'll stay exactly where you are. But if you do, you could be the next one coming out to Vegas celebrating how quickly you built an online business with consistent monthly recurring revenue. You in? Click the button below to join the School Games now. If you join this month, I'll personally onboard you live. Sign up and I'll see you on our onboarding call on Monday. You can ask me whatever you want. Now, if you're worried about starting a free trial, we offer an unconditional money back guarantee. So if you finish your trial and you forget to cancel, just let us know and we'll refund you. All right, we just want people to win. And I'm going to say this one more time because it's important. 1 out of 2 people who start a paid community in Skool make money, with the average paid community owner earning $1,360 per month. You really can do this. Click the button and let's get started.